I think when it comes to skill-based hiring, it's another, I hate to always be the hype killer, but it's another piece of hype that is just everywhere, right? It's like skills-based, every organization is trying to be skills-based organization. If you ask them, what does that mean? Very few. I will give a shout out about how Standard Chartered does it, cool, but there's been very few organizations that have actually been able to really do it or be clear why they're doing it. But I think skills-based is going to be so important over the next 1 to 10 years because we are coming into an exponential skills crisis. So I think it was on Friday last week, the World Economic Forum put out Future of Jobs report. And it's about jobs that are going to be created and displaced. There's going to be more jobs created by AI than there is replaced. I would tend to agree with that. But then if you think about the skills and look at the skills that are going to be impacted by that, it's really, really a huge swing. So out of the top 15 new roles and skills that are going to be created, 11 out of the 15 are tech. Out of the 15 that are going to be displaced, only one of them is tech, right? So there's going to be a huge rise in skills, both hard technical skills like big data, like data center, that are going to be required, and then obviously the soft skills that Jerry mentioned. So there's going to be that massive spike. So we are going into a huge skill shortage for those 11 skills, right? There's just going to be a shortage of this. So if we take a step back, and I think this is where organizations need to look at, there's technology that can do this, and look at, right, let's separate the hype of being a skills-based organization. Let's look at, and there's plenty of technology that does this. We've built technology that does this, and there's plenty of organizations that have. But how do we have a skills inventory, right? So how do we know what skills, hard and soft, do we have in our organization right now? Most organizations don't know what skills they have right now. There is technology that exists now that is pretty easy to deploy that will be able to give companies that very quickly. Ourselves, Eightfold, Tech Wolf, there's lots of different tools out there depending on the size of your organization to be able to get a really good skills inventory. Once you have that skills inventory, you can use your own generative AI tools or off-the-shelf generative AI tools to then skill map and go, okay, based on where our organization are going, what skill gaps do I then have? Then when you've got those skill gaps, you can then go, right, what are the initiatives that we then need to put in place? So one of them will be reskilling. So what skills are going to be displaced that we can then reskill? Then upskilling. What skills do we have just now that we need to improve the hard or soft skills that we already have? And then third, and I think this is actually where skills-based hiring actually comes in, right, we don't have the skills that we need. How do we hire that? And I think that is where remote hiring is huge. Open talent hiring, so short-term hires is going to be huge. I think we're going to see a huge increase in freelance hiring. And again, I come from a contingent staffing background. I'm probably biased, but I think skills-based hiring works best with short-term pieces of work where you have a very specific task and you match that skill to the task. When it's a permanent leadership role, it's a bit more emotional, right? It's a bit more soft. It's hard to do skills-based hiring really well with soft skills, but hard skills to a task, you can do it. And again, there's tools out there that will help you create that, break a job into a task, match to different talent pools, and then even help you hire and create the deliverables you need for that person to do that piece of work.